Nothing shipped without him seeing it first. Not just the big calls, everything. The pricing exception, the new hire, the wording of the client email, the vendor pick, the seating chart. It all routed through one person, and that person was proud of it. I have high standards, he'd say. I care about the details. And he did. The quality of what came out of his team was excellent, consistently, for years. His reputation was built on it. Leadership trusted his function completely because they knew that he personally touched everything. Nothing sloppy ever got out. If you wanted it done right, it went through him. Here's what it cost, and it's the kind of cost that hides behind good results for a long time. His team couldn't move without him. Every decision, big or small, waited in the line outside his door. Some days, literally. And because everything waited on him, nothing moved faster than he could personally process it. And he had quietly become the speed limit for the entire organization. And it got worse in a way he didn't see. His best people stopped bringing him their own judgment because their judgment didn't matter. His was the only one that counted. So they stopped developing it. Why sweat a hard call when you know it'll get redecided at his desk anyway? He'd hire sharp people and slowly train them to be order takers. And then he complained that he had to make every decision himself, never noticing that he'd built exactly that. He hadn't taken a real vacation in 3 years. When he was out, everything stopped and waited for him to get back. He read that as proof of how essential he was. It was actually proof of how fragile everything he'd made was. I said to him, "Your team produces excellent work, and I don't think you have a standards problem. I think you've made yourself the only point of judgment in a system that has 15 capable people in it. You're not the quality bar, you're the bottleneck with a great reputation." He pushed back hard. If I stop checking, quality drops. I've seen it. The one time I let something through without reviewing it, it had a mistake in it. This is what caring looks like. I said, well, maybe. Or maybe quality dips for a quarter while people build the judgment you've spent years not letting them use. And then it's better than you alone could ever make it, because now it's 15 people catching things instead of one exhausted person catching everything. You're not protecting quality. You're protecting the feeling of being the one it all depends on. That's the pattern. And it's one of the most respectable looking failures in the neighborhood because it wears the costume of rigor and care. But underneath, for a lot of gatekeepers, control is doing something quieter. It's certainty. As long as it goes through me, I know it's right, and I never have to sit with the discomfort of trusting someone else and being wrong. So they call it standards, and they mistake a bottleneck for a backbone. He tried something that felt to him like negligence. He took his own decisions and sorted them into 3 piles. The ones only he could truly make, the ones someone on his team could make with a quick check-in, and the ones he was reviewing purely out of habit. The first pile was tiny. The third was enormous. Then he did the one hard thing. He picked 10 recurring decisions from that third pile and handed them over completely. Not run it by me, but this is yours now. You decide. You own it. The first month was uncomfortable. A couple of calls got made differently than he would have made them, and the work was fine. One was arguably better than his version. And slowly, the line outside his door got shorter. His team got faster, and the people he'd started treating as order takers started acting like the leaders he'd actually hired. And here's the part he wrestled with. It cost him something real. Being the one everything depends on had felt like importance. Learning to be the person who builds judgment in others instead of the person who is the judgment, he had to learn the less necessary he was to every small decision, the more valuable he became to the ones that actually mattered. One thing to try. This week, take 3 decisions you routinely review, 3 things that currently wait for your sign-off, and hand one of them over completely. Not check with me first. Fully theirs. Then notice the urge to peek and don't. The goal isn't to care less. It's to stop being the reason nothing moves. Here's the question. If you were out for a month, would your team slow down a little, or would it stop and wait at your door? And if it would stop, is that a sign of how essential you are or how much you've kept for yourself? I'm Danesh, and this is the Leaders in Our Neighborhood. I'll see you next Friday.